Davide and Ito will question Jorge about the exhibition of Shahidul, that the crossfire exhibition that I guess most of you saw. Did you all see it or not?
Most of us are.
And afterwards, because then Davide will leave to the airport. Huh? And after Davide leaves, Ito will present her work, her photographic and video work, film work, and we will discuss it later on. So I will let them start.
What we were thinking just before starting, what we would like to do is not to make a judgment ourselves or to try to have only conversation about the childhood exhibition, but we would like immediately to involve you with questions about aesthetics of the exhibitions, but also about how it's structured. And what I would like to do, and what I think we are trying to do, is to understand what could have been done in a different way, or how can we explore the exhibition and try to understand how that exhibition could be done in a different way, or it can be evolving in a different way. How do you make choices as well? How do they organize? How art was displayed and why?
Yes. And what was the intention of the curator?
Yes.
Yes, but you first. What shall I do? Shall I say how it all started to begin with?
Yes.
Yes. Well, for a long time, for almost 2 years, we had been talking with Shahidul about having presentations of Peruvian photography, recent photography in Chobimela. And then Shahidul informed me last December that he had an exhibition in mind concerning a particular situation with violation of human rights in Bangladesh, and if I didn't think it would be a good occasion for me to come over to do a workshop here and to curate the exhibition. So I said that that would be excellent, that I could do that, and maybe that would be the first step in our linking with a presentation of Peruvian photography for the future. So initially the idea was that I would come for a month, but then things didn't prove that easy for me, and I said I would come for about just under 3 weeks. Even that didn't prove that easy to do, so the preparations for the exhibition began in Dhaka without me. I had received the images from Shahidul by email, so I was familiar with some of them. Other images had been posted onto the blog, Shahidul's blog, and there were other images that were new images for me anyway. So a curatorial team was formed with Fariha, Tanzim, and Mumena, and they started working with Shahidul here. The exhibition space was chosen because it was more compact. You know, DRIC has 2 exhibition spaces. There's a top floor exhibition where the Dockyards exhibition is at the moment, and then there's the exhibition on the first floor. And the first floor exhibition with the 3 spaces, but all connected, was chosen because it was like more compact, and it also meant that things would be like more in dialogue with each other within that space. So there was the photographic series that I was partly familiar with from having seen it through internet, and then there was a number of other things that of a participatory nature that Shahidul wanted to include in the show, and this I didn't know quite what they were until I got here.
So, going back to the concept, what was the elements that Shahidul wanted to to combine in terms of ideas before the artworks were chosen? So what was the concept of the exhibition at the bottom line? You know, why there was this need of doing this exhibition, and which kind of elements for Scheidel were important to be connected inside the exhibition?
Well, I think the basic thing, the basic motivation is to communicate to the public, to make them aware of a particular situation involving extrajudicial killings by a state agency.
Yes, but for Scheidel has been talking to me a lot about how he wanted to be an artistic project, so not only journalistic, or the concept that you're saying can be developed in different ways.
Yes, but the series itself, when I saw the series on internet, it seemed to me very clearly that it wasn't like a denunciation or a political art show. I wouldn't describe it as a political art show. Initially, from the, if I'm to go back in my mind to the moment when I first saw the images were not a denunciation series in photography. I would say that they were much more reflective in mood, to put it in a simple way. And I didn't know that there were other elements that were going to go into the show before I arrived. I didn't know exactly what the details of the other things that Shahidul wanted to show, especially because he had in mind a whole aspect of the show that was participatory in nature. So he didn't communicate that to me until I was here. Yeah. But the series itself, when I saw it on its own, was more like a very, very subtle way of pointing to something that happens at night. It was like a nocturnal image series. And it has a very eerie aspect to it in some cases. I think that it revolves around a sense of loss. I'm not sure, I will be very, very hard put at trying to define that, but it seemed to me that it was a way of making people aware through photography about feelings and situations that are not easily clarified normally. So maybe when I'm talking about political art, I'm talking about a political art that is denunciatory in nature, but not necessarily, I'm not denying the political content of the exhibition, I'm just saying that it's not agitation propaganda. That's what I'm saying. Yeah. So it's not an agitation propaganda show, art show.
The four elements in the show were photographs.
Let's write it.
Text. Can we get back to what there is in the show? If I remember, there's photographs with captions that are not captions, that are text.
Yes. So there's photographs. There are texts.
Can we maybe put also before what is the concept? Like